Imagine fighting an uphill battle with weight since childhood, trying every diet under the sun, sweating it out in the gym, and even turning to medical help, only to see the weight creep back on. Sounds familiar, right? Trust me, you're not alone. In this video, we'll explore the science behind obesity, why it's so tough to keep the weight off, and the role of FDA-approved weight loss medications. Whether you're just starting your journey or have been struggling for years, there's something here for you, so stick around. You won't want to miss this. But let's pause and ask ourselves, what exactly is obesity? What happens in the body that causes excessive weight gain? And why is it so difficult for some people to lose weight and keep it off? Obesity is defined medically as having an excessive amount of body fat that presents a risk to health. A common measure is the body mass index, or BMI, which is a calculation based on height and weight. A BMI over 30 is considered obese. However, BMI doesn't tell the whole story. Where you carry excess fat is also important, because abdominal fat around organs is riskier than fat under the skin. Obesity increases the risk of conditions like heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and certain cancers. So, what causes people to become obese from a hormonal standpoint? A key player is the hormone leptin, which is produced by fat cells and signals to the brain when you are full. In obesity, a leptin resistance can develop where the brain doesn't pick up on these signals properly. Insulin is another hormone that causes ARI. Insulin resistance, where cells don't respond properly to insulin signal, can occur. This causes the body to produce even more insulin to try to get nutrients into cells, leading to fat storage. The stress hormone cortisol is also linked to increased abdominal fat when produced in excess. So, chronic stress may be a contributing factor for some and builds up cortisol. When someone loses weight, especially a significant amount, their hormone levels can change in ways that drive weight regain. For example, leptin levels drop as you lose fat mass, so your brain thinks you're starving and drives you to eat even more. Levels of other hormones like ghrelin that increase appetite can also rise after weight loss. At the same time, hormones that make you feel full, like peptide YY, may stay suppressed, so the scale gets tipped in favor of regaining weight through powerful biological signals. It's tough to be thin. Some people, an underlying medical condition is the driver behind obesity. For example, hypothyroidism. This is an underactive thyroid. Can slow metabolism and cause weight gain. Another one is Cushing's syndrome. Involves too much cortisol, which we know promotes abdominal fat. Polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS, is another hormonal condition in women that is linked to obesity, and certain medications like steroids, antidepressants, or diabetic drug may also contribute to weight gain in some cases. As you can see, there are lots of complex biological factors at play when it comes to obesity. This is part of the reason why losing weight and keeping it off is such an immense struggle for many people. Their own bodies are working against them through hormonal cues that increase appetite and drive weight regain. There are also genetic differences that cause some people to be more prone to obesity than others. How the brain responds to hormones like leptin, insulin can vary. Some individuals may have a slower metabolism or more of a tendency to store fat. Environmental and lifestyle factors like diet, exercise, sleep, and stress also interact with these biological influences. Managing weight is truly a multifactorial challenge. In summary, obesity involves much more than just calories in and calories out. There are intricate hormonal mechanisms like leptin, insulin, and others that can promote excessive fat accumulation. Now, back to my personal obesity struggle.
So, in my desperation to find a lasting solution, I have turned to weight loss medications. Let me preface this by saying that these medications are not a magic bullet and they should always be taken under the guidance of a healthcare professional. Every individual's body is different, and what works for one person may not work for another person. So always consult your doctor before taking any medical advice. That being said, I want to share with you my experiences with the various FDA-approved weight loss medications in the United States. I hope that it may provide some insight for those of you on a similar journey. Orlistat, or brand name Ali. Let's start with Orlistat, which is available over the counter under the brand name Ali. This medication works by blocking the absorption of dietary fat in the intestines, thereby reducing the number of calories your body can absorb from the food you eat. The mechanism of action is relatively straightforward, but Orlistat can have some unpleasant side effects, such as oily stools, flatulence, and abdominal discomfort, especially if you consume too much fat in your diet. Imagine oily droplets in the toilet. Phentermine. Next, we have Phentermine, which is a stimulant medication that suppresses appetite and increases the energy expenditure. And it works by increasing the levels of norepinephrine, which is a neurotransmitter that plays a role in regulating appetite and metabolism. While Phentermine can be effective for short-term weight loss, it does come with some potential side effects, such as increased heart rate, insomnia, and dry mouth. It's also important to note that Phentermine is intended for a short-term use only, typically no more than 12 weeks, so only FDA approved for 3 months. Phentermine topiramate. Qsymia is a combination medication that contains Phentermine and topiramate, which is an anticonvulsant drug. This combination works by suppressing the appetite, increasing the feelings of fullness, and potentially altering the way your body metabolizes certain nutrients. While Qsymia has shown promising results in clinical trials, it does come with some potential side effects, including increased heart rate, dry mouth, constipation, and cognitive impairment. It's also contraindicated in certain conditions such as glaucoma and hyperthyroidism. Bupropion naltrexone, which is Contrave. Contrave is another combination medication, this time consisting of bupropion, an antidepressant, and naltrexone. This unique combination works by targeting different areas of the brain involved in regulating appetite and cravings. While Contrave has shown promising results in clinical trials, it does come with some potential side effects, such as nausea, constipation, and increased blood pressure. It's also contraindicated in certain conditions, such as seizure disorders and uncontrolled hypertension. Liraglutide, which is Saxenda. Let's move on to the medications that have been game changers for me personally: Liraglutide and Semaglutide. Liraglutide, sold under the brand name Saxenda, is a GLP-1 agonist that works by mimicking the effects of a hormone called glucagon-like peptide 1, GLP-1. This medication not only helps you regulate blood sugar levels, but also slows down gastric emptying, which can lead to feelings of fullness and reduced appetite. In clinical trials, Liraglutide has been shown to promote significant weight loss, with some participants losing up to 18% of their body weight over the course of a year. However, Liraglutide is not without potential side effects, which can include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and constipation. It's also contraindicated in certain conditions, such as medullary thyroid cancer and multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Also, it is a once-a-day injection. Semaglutide, or Wegovy. This medication has been a true game changer for me, and it's semaglutide. It's sold under the brand name Wegovy. Like Liraglutide, Semaglutide is a GLP-1 agonist, but it has been specifically designed and approved for weight loss management. In clinical trials, semaglutide has shown remarkable results, with some participants losing up to 15% of their body weight over the course of a year. For me personally, semaglutide has been instrumental in helping me shed an incredible 90 pounds, a feat that I once thought was impossible. However, it is important to note that semaglutide is not without its potential side effects, which can include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, abdominal pain, and it's also contraindicated in certain conditions, such as, like liraglutide, it's contraindicated in medullary thyroid cancer and multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, and history of pancreatitis. Tirzepatide. Finally, let's talk about the newest kid on the block, Tirzepatide, sold under the brand name Zepbound. This medication is a dual GIP and GLP-1 receptor agonist, meaning it targets two different hormones involved in regulating blood sugar and appetite. The clinical trials for Tirzepatide have shown impressive results, with participants losing up to 24% of their body weight in the highest dose. However, it's still relatively new, and its long-term efficacy are still being studied. Like semaglutide, Tirzepatide is a once-a-week injection. As with the other medications, Tirzepatide does come with the potential side effects such as nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and constipation. It's also contraindicated in the certain conditions such as the same as above, medullary thyroid cancer and multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2.
The FDA today greenlit another weight loss drug, joining a market that's already booming.
The company released the data as part of its weight loss approval request to the FDA. More than 40% of the U.S. population is obese, putting tens of millions of Americans at risk of heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and certain types of cancers, and even death.
In conclusion, weight loss is a complex and deeply personal journey, and what works for one person may not work for another. While these FDA-approved medications can be helpful and powerful tools in the fight against obesity, they should always be used under the guidance of a healthcare professional and in conjunction with a healthy lifestyle, diet, and exercise. Remember, these medications are not a magic solution. They must be combined with a balanced diet and regular exercise to achieve sustainable results. It is also important to be patient and persistent, as weight loss is a journey that requires time, effort, and unwavering commitment. I hope that by sharing my experiences with these medications, I've been able to provide some insight and perhaps even a glimmer of hope for those of you who are struggling with weight loss problems. So remember, not alone in this battle, and with the right tools and support, you can overcome any obstacle. Until next time, stay strong, stay motivated, and never give up on your journey towards a better health and well-being. Make sure to follow Miranda Beauty and Wellness channel, so whether you're interested in learning about facial aesthetics, weight loss, or overall wellness, be sure to follow us, and we'll be your trusted source for accurate and up-to-date information delivered in an engaging and entertaining way. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll be diving deeper into the world of aesthetics and explore its many applications. Until then, take care, and remember, beauty and wellness start from